Hey bookaholics, welcome to another video. So today I'm doing my January book haul. Now, this will hopefully be my last book haul for a little bit because I just can't afford it. I got a few more than I would think I would get in January, and I guess that's probably absolutely no surprise to all of you. Let's just get into what I got this month. So the first one is actually just a bored one because my friend lent it to me because I've always wanted to read this one and I just never got the opportunity because none of my classes actually assigned this book to read. Hopefully I'll be able to get this to it soon and then be able to give it back to her. But that one is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So this one, I believe everyone should have some kind of knowledge about what this one is about. This is a classic that I just never actually got around to reading because, well, if I would have read it any time in the last few years, it would have been for class, but it was never assigned. But my friend is reading this for her class, and she actually had a second copy, and she let me borrow it. But it was one of the first books I got in January. So the next book I got is The Book Thief by Marcus Cusack. This one was at Value Village, and I was really happy to see it there because I've been really wanting to read this book. I've tried audiobooks, but I just haven't quite got into it. I don't know if it's the reader of it. I don't think so because a lot of people like him as the narrator, and he does sound really freaking creepy because if you don't know, the narrator of the book is Death, so it's gonna be a bit of a creepy voice for that. But I just haven't gotten around to reading this one, and I just needed to get the physical copy just to motivate myself to actually read it. So I am really excited to read this one. Next book I got in January is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. Now, I talked about this one in my January wrap-up because I read it in the same month that I got it. This one I got because of Katie from Kate's Book Date. She just really highly recommended this one. She absolutely loved it, and I just needed to read it because it sounded very, very interesting, and it was a freaking wonderful book. If you want to hear more about this book, go to my January wrap-up. I will link that video down below. The next book I got is Little Black Dress, Little White Lies by Laura Stampler. This one was a deal at Indigo. I think it was because they have a little bit of a red line in there. So this one ended up being super cheap for a hardback, and it sounded very interesting. It's about a girl who moves to New York for an internship or a new job, and she just doesn't quite fit in, so she changes a bit about herself, and it just sounds so interesting. I'm so excited to read this one. I just haven't gotten around to it. It was cheap, so why not? It was like $5, so like hardback for $5, yes. The next book I got in January is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This one, Haley from Haley and Bookland talked about this one a lot and really enjoyed it, and it would have been a great one to have when I went to Ireland, but oh well, I do have some traveling experience, so I should be able to get a lot out of this one as well from my experience with that, and I'm just really excited to read this one. It pretty much follows a girl who goes to Tuscany because her father lives there and she's trying to get a little bit closer to him, or her family prompted her to do it. I can't quite remember the actual reason why she goes to Tuscany, but I know it's to visit her father, and it's just really, really interested me because of the travel, and I just really wished I had this book when I went to Ireland, but otherwise I'm really excited about it because travel, and it will really make me want to go back. But yeah, that is the next book I got in January. I'm sorry if I'm at a different angle. My camera decided to run out of room, so I had to figure all that out before I could continue. So yeah, sorry about that. So the next book I got in the month of January is The Chaos of Standing Still by Jessica Brody. Now this one I got because of Haley from Haley and Bookland again. Now, I didn't actually hear her talking about this one, surprisingly, because she always convinces me to buy books that she reads. I saw her reading it, and I was at the bookstore when I saw her update, and it ended up being this one. And I ended up seeing it at this bookstore, and I was like, I'm curious, what was this about? And I read the synopsis, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get this one now. I'm really excited for this one. It follows a girl whose best friend dies, and she has one unread text message from her that she is too scared to look at, and it's been 1 year since her friend died, and she is at the international airport in Denver, and she ends up swapping phones with this guy named Xander, and it pretty much just follows that afterwards. There's some kind of reference to the Illuminati, which I have no idea where that comes from, but you know what, I'm very interested by that. That was the third last book I got this month. Next one I got this month, which, okay, so this is how it went. I was looking at books that were coming out in 2018 so I can do my anticipated reads of 2018, and this one ended up being one that I was very interested in, and it was out that day that I was looking at it, and I was like, oh shit. Okay. My auntie had to go get some stuff from Fabricland, and Kohl's, which is a bookstore, was at that same mall, and I was following her around Fabricland, and I was like, oh, I really want to go, I really want to go, I really want to go to this bookstore. So I went, and I was looking for this specific book. They didn't have it, so I went to the desk and asked them to hold it at Indigo because they had one freaking copy. So if you believe in fate, that was fate right there. But they had this one, so I had it held, and then I went to that store that same day and I ended up buying 5 books in total, including this one. But yeah, that was the story. I got You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Now this one sounded very, very interesting. So it pretty much follows 18-year-old twins Adina and Tova, where they have the chance of having the genetic gene of the Huntington's disease, and one of the twins has it. I haven't read anything with the Huntington's disease, and I know it's a very, very, very bad disease where it slowly steals control of the body and mind. So it's a very, very bad disease that affects the whole family and affects the person who is diagnosed with it. It sounds so good. I feel like it's gonna be very, very emotional. I don't know too much. I just know the twins. One of them has Huntington's disease. I'm just very, very interested in where this one goes, and I'm just so excited. The last book I got in the month of January was my Owl Crate book, and that one was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Again, I'm just in love with this cover, and I just love it so much. I can't quite remember exactly what goes on in this one. I know it's about 3 sisters, I believe, who are taken into the fairy realm after their parents died, and 2 of the sisters aren't very interested in staying fairy, but one of them is very interested in being a fairy knight, but she's human, and that doesn't happen. But the way that it could is by betraying the cruel prince, one of the princes of the fairies. It goes from there. I want to go in this book not knowing too much, and it just sounds so interesting, and honestly, this cover is freaking gorgeous. I love it. I love it so much more than the original cover. I just love it. I'm so happy I got it from the Owl Crate, and it's just gorgeous. That is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below all the books you guys got in January. I would love to know, even though I am officially should be done buying. I don't need to buy any more books. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Check out my other social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram. I make a video every Thursday, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye!